Hello dear Madridistas. The situation at Real Madrid is serious. Today, we're going to talk about Thibaut Courtois' injury, which is even worse than expected, the worrying condition of Mbappé, and finally, the quarterfinal between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Let's go. Real Madrid is not in crisis, it is at war with itself. Yes, you heard that right. This legendary club, this sacred monster of world football, this symbol of excellence that has dominated Europe for decades, now teeters on a razor-thin line between eternal dominance and spectacular collapse. And what's happening right now could very well redefine the history of modern football. Because what the media doesn't always tell you is that behind the victories, the smiles, and the perfectly managed press conferences, there is immense tension. Unbearable pressure. A silent war between expectations, ego, injuries, and strategic decisions that could either propel the club into a new dynasty, or trigger a brutal downfall. Look closely at the situation. On paper, Real Madrid's squad is terrifying. Stars in every position, young prodigies, depth that few teams can rival. And yet, something isn't right. Injuries pile up, team chemistry breaks down. And in the most crucial moments, this Real gives the impression of being human. And that, for a club like Madrid, is almost an insult. Take Kylian Mbappé, for example. His arrival was announced as a historic turning point. The player meant to embody a new era, the one who would carry the club on his shoulders as Cristiano Ronaldo did before him. But today, a troubling question circulates. Is Mbappé truly the savior everyone expected, or an element that destabilizes the team's fragile balance? Some say he picks his matches. Others whisper that he is not yet fully integrated. Meanwhile, the locker room watches, analyses, judges, because at Real Madrid, nothing is ever neutral. Every gesture, every glance, every performance is dissected. Here, you either become a legend, or you are rejected without mercy. And as if that weren't enough, injuries strike at the worst possible moment. Thibaut Courtois sidelined, key players diminished, a defense that is sometimes unstable. And suddenly, this machine that seemed invincible shows cracks. Flaws that teams like Manchester City or Bayern Munich are just waiting to exploit. Because let's be clear, in the Champions League, there is no mercy. And Real Madrid knows it better than anyone. This club built its legend on impossible comebacks, magical nights, feats that defy logic. But today, a burning question sits on every supporter's lips. Does that magic still exist? Or worse, has it disappeared without us noticing? What makes the situation even more explosive is the contrast between the public image and internal reality. On one side, a club displaying confidence and ambition. On the other, decisions that leave people baffled. Rumors of mass departures. Key players potentially being pushed out. As if a silent revolution were already underway. And now, we enter dangerous territory. Because a club like Real Madrid never does anything halfway. When it decides to change, it destroys to rebuild. It sacrifices names, legends, pillars, to prepare for the future. And this process can be brutal. Very brutal. Imagine for a moment, historic players sidelined, young talents thrown under enormous pressure, and in the middle of all this, a constant expectation to win. Always win, no matter the circumstances, because this is the reality at Real Madrid. Here, finishing second is a failure. Having a decent season is not enough. You must dominate, crush, make history. And yet, this season gives a strange feeling. As if the club is walking a tightrope, capable of the best, like in its European exploits, but also of the worst, with inconsistent performances and unusual doubts. It's this explosive mix that makes the situation fascinating. Because we may be witnessing, live, a pivotal moment. One of those rare instances when a great team must decide, evolve, or decline. And at the heart of it all is a factor many underestimate: psychology. The fear of losing, the pressure of history, the weight of the shirt. Playing for Real Madrid isn't just about football. It's about carrying enormous responsibility, permanent expectation, an obligation to be great. Some players rise to it, others crumble, and that is where everything is decided. Ultimately, what awaits Real Madrid in the coming weeks is not just a series of matches. It is a test of character, of mentality, of identity. The clash with Bayern, for instance, won't just be a quarterfinal. It will be a statement, a response to all the critics, an opportunity to prove that this club remains the undisputed king of Europe. But beware, if Real fails, the consequences could be enormous. Questioning the project, increased pressure on the management, and most importantly, a deep doubt that could take hold for a long time. And for a club built on the certainty of winning, that is a huge danger. So, what will happen? Will Mbappé finally explode and take total control of this team? Will the young talents confirm themselves and lead the club into a new era? Or will internal tensions and injuries eventually break this fragile momentum? One thing is certain, we cannot remain indifferent. Because when Real Madrid falters, it is never ordinary. It is spectacular. It is dramatic. It is historic. And perhaps we are witnessing one of the most decisive moments in its history. So stay alert. Watch every match. Analyze every detail. Because what is happening today could shape football for years to come. Thank you for watching the video. I'm counting on you to subscribe and share.